Okay, 10-7. Solve quadratic. I don't mind stopping. So I'm giving some of the problems in the homework section, but I can give them all to those who don't care. And if you don't care, you'll show it to me. So please, I really want to help you. So I want you to pay attention and then help others to pay attention. So solve quadratic equations, and I'm going to put here using the formula. I know it says the quadratic formula, but really this is the main formula of our chapter, using the formula. And that formula is up here. And you need to write this in your notes. It's, oh, actually, okay, just for you and for any others who can't see, we're going to say this as a class out loud. Ready? Negative b
plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a.
Okay, and it equals that x. Okay, now listen to me carefully. Yesterday, if you did your homework, you dealt with this part a lot. And the reason, well, there are many reasons you deal with this part in one lesson is because you're going to have to deal with it again, and hopefully you got better at it. Practice is going to help you out. Mr. Ray, but I missed half of them. Well, today I hope you only miss, I hope you miss fewer than that. Yeah, the whole thing. Okay, but if you can get this part down, the rest of it's really not that bad. And this lesson is not hard. You just got to be careful on some of these things. Yes, sir?
Last night's homework, we were only using the b squared minus 4ac, right? So
Yes.
I literally got like all of them wrong.
Okay, so listen, Max, that's okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to review that by doing it again, but this time we're going to do it all together. And really this last part, these two parts right here, by the way, what is that part? Anyone remember what that was? The axis of symmetry. We're just going to do that part added as well. So let's look at our first problem. The first problem I want you guys to do, and I had to change it up from the book because they gave you some extreme numbers. 2x squared plus 8x is equal to 5.
This isn't a homework, is
No, this is not a homework problem. Yeah, I'm going to give you some book problems, and then I'll do some homework problems, as many as I can with you.
What's our chapter?
Good. That was another. Man, I have a lot of things to say, and I keep forgetting. Next Friday is chapter 10 tests. Next Friday. That's a week from now. So we will review, but we do have. Because I know
We're doing a pie thing. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, Pi Day, 3/14. Okay. Well, thankfully that's not next week, but yes, we will do something. I'll try to think of something next week. It's not too deep.
I like food, so it involves.
Yeah, I think. Okay, hold on. If you guys, so I remember now what we did, and I just need to communicate that to everyone. So hold that. I will get that. It's pretty quick, but I don't want to say it now. Let's keep going here. Is this in standard form?
No.
No, get it into standard form. That's your first step. First step, get it in standard form, just like it was last night. Get it in standard form. So 2x squared plus 8x minus 5 equals 0. That's standard form because you subtracted 5 from both sides. Next, you need to identify what's A, what's B, and what's C. So is anything new so far? No, this is all old stuff. So what's A? 2. What's B? What's C? And the signs do matter, so please don't switch it up. Okay, those are my A, B, and C values. And I need more space, so I'm going to have to go to another screen. And then somebody please remind me what those are. Okay, so what you do now is you take the quadratic formula and write it the way I'm writing it on the board right now. I'm going to write it, but instead of any variable, I'm going to put parentheses. So here's how I write it and read it at the same time. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So that's all I did. I just rewrote it, but instead of the variables, I put a bunch of parentheses. And I do that for a reason. That's to save me some heartache with the signs. The signs get really tough. Okay, you guys should have listed what A, B, and C are. So somebody tell me what B is.
8.
I put 8 in here, and I put 8 in here. And it was a positive 8?
Yes.
Okay, what's A? 2. So I put 2 in there, 2 in there. Do you guys know Wheel of Fortune when someone calls out a letter and then that lady points to Van White? There you go. She points. So those are the B's, those are the A's, and what's C? Negative 5. So you put the numbers where they belong. Okay, that seems like a pretty long problem. Like, oh man, there's a lot going on. First deal with a discriminant. So just deal with this part right here. This is review right here. If you put the numbers where they belong, you just want to simplify this little expression right here, which you did many times last night. So do you remember doing that? No. If not, here's a reminder. What's 8 squared? 64. And here's where, I mean, this is like the critical area where you messed up a lot yesterday, or you'll mess up today, or mess up on the test or quiz. It's negative 4 times 2 times negative 5, automatically positive or negative? Positive. So I'm just going to put a plus sign right there. I know it's going to be added. And then just deal with the numbers. What's 4 times 2? 8 times 5? Okay, I got 40 right here. So I got 40, 64 plus 40. Okay, which is what? 104. And remember, it's still being square rooted, which I haven't put up there. Based on last night, that is a positive number, but it's not a perfect square. So 2 irrational numbers, right? And you're like, do I have to write that down? No. But I should be in my mind thinking, okay, 2 irrational numbers should be my answers. Okay, now go ahead and put the square root, and then put your plus or minus. And then what's the opposite of 8? Negative 8. And then what's 2 times 2? 4. I had an internal debate about how I wanted to have your answers, and this is how I want you to write your answers. Okay, if you don't know what that is perfectly, that's okay. You're going to leave it just the way it is. Just leave it the square root of 104. But this is how I want you to write your answers down, okay? How many answers are here, by the way?
2.
There's 2. Sorry, 2. It's negative 8 plus the square root of 104 over 4, and negative 8 minus the square root of 104 over 4. So I want you to write that down. Negative 8 plus the square root of 104 over 4, and negative 8 minus the square root of 104 over 4. You're like, that is meaningless to me. You could say that, but I'm just going to keep it like this. But yes, you could technically do it. Don't do it. Yes, you could. That's my answer, and I'll circle it. That's it right there. Those are your answers. 2 of them, right? And you're like, wait, didn't you say we had to get 2 irrational numbers? Okay, the square root of 104 is not a perfect square, right? That means it's irrational. And I have 1 irrational, 2 irrationals. That checks. I need the estimate of the square root of 104 to the nearest 10th. Write it down. Square root of 104 to the nearest 10th. You may estimate now.
Wait, we're estimating?
Yep, just get, like, what does that mean? What is square root of 104? Well, it's about, we'll see how close you can get. And hold on, I'm going to, oh, block it. So now, let's open it up. I don't know if you saw, but if you did, sorry. 104, square rooted. Okay, write it down. Let's see how close you get to the nearest 10th. 10.2.
Oh,
10.2.
I got 10.07. I got 10.2.
Okay, how many of you got 10.2? Okay, how many of you got 10.1 to 10.3? 10.1 to 10. How many got 10 to 10.5? So 10 to 10.5 is a little rougher estimate, but 10.1 to 10.3 is good, and then obviously 10.2 is spot on. Okay, now listen to me. For all of us, what is 10.2 about?
10.
10. Can you guys say it's a little over 10? And the reason I say that is because your classmates in Algebra 2, when they get to this answer, are going to be like, someone asks, what does that mean? Nothing. It means nothing. Okay, what's negative 8 plus about 10? It's about 2. 2 over 4? It's about 1/2, right? This number makes sense to me. It's about a half. What's negative 8 minus 10? Negative 18 over 4 would be? It'd be about negative 4.5. Okay, do those numbers make a little more sense? See, here's what I'm doing to you guys. You didn't like fractions because you don't get them as much. Okay, you still don't, but you know what? I'm making you understand irrational numbers by you thinking of... See, now you're like this. I don't get that, but I get 1/2 easier than that. So this is easier. Fractions are easier for you than irrational, and that's building up your number sense little by little. You doing okay over there, whoever? Okay. You can get water if you don't have any there. But. I thought what I said was so captivating. Just see, is that good? Okay, let me give you another problem here. Make sure I don't. Okay, yes. 2x squared plus 3 is equal to 8x. 8x here. First step is get it into standard form. So I want that standard form, and then you can pick out your A, B, and C. And do you remember me talking to you about change side, change signs? Anyone remember?
I was just thinking that.
Why?
So if I change the 8x and bring it over to this side, I said change its sign. So it becomes negative 8x here. And so here's my standard form. So hopefully you match up a bit. Identify your A, B, and C. Yes, sir? Yes, you can. Yep. Okay, here you don't want to get A equal to 1. You can leave it whatever you want. Which is why quadratic's so nice. Just get in standard form, boom, put the numbers where they belong. All right, what's A?
2.
B? C? Okay, you got your A, B, and C values. Now you put it into the quadratic formula. Some of you aren't putting it in. It's no wonder you don't understand it. Giving you a chance, not looking you in the eye, but with my heart I'm reaching out to you. Okay. Negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4AC all over 2A. You're like, why did you keep saying all those variables? Because I want to make sure I put the parentheses where they belong. And after 10 years, oh no, almost 10 years of teaching this, I still do that because I don't want to mix up signs. I really don't. What's your B value? Negative 8. So you put negative 8 in those spots. What's your A value? 2. And your C value? 3. So put those numbers, and what are you going to deal with first? The discriminant. The discriminant. I actually, when I was posting the YouTube video last night or yesterday, I was put in the title as solving the quadratic formula and discriminate. And I was like, wait, that's not going to go well with my viewers. So it's discriminate. Because discriminate is usually a bad thing.
But it's math.
Yeah. But in math, we need to do that. That was my clickbait, and then I decided not. No.
Wrong.
Yellow journalism.
No one clicked. Okay.
Yellow journalism.
What is right here? So I'm going to deal with this first, just like I did last night. 64 minus 24, which is 40. Okay, I get the square root of 40 plus or minus. What do I get for that?
4. Oh, wait, sorry. Or positive.
It's positive 8. If you didn't put these parentheses, I'm guessing you put negative 8. You get a wrong answer all the way through. Sorry. Okay, over 4. Okay, what is the square root of 40? To the nearest 100. So 2 decimal places. Let's try to round it as best you can.
Wait, should we say it out loud? Okay.
No, just write it down. Sorry. Just want to see how many of you get it. 40. All right, here's the official answer. 6.32.
I got 6.2.
Oh, okay. Who got 6.32? Hundredth. Yeah, sorry. 2 decimal places. Oh.
Oh, you cheater.
Now, here's something. With that, so you normally would just use a calculator, but in the same page, you can see what the square root of those numbers are, and you can look at that for your own grid. That's fine.
I got 6.2.
But I want you still to estimate on your own because I want you to get number sense. Okay, who got 6? Yeah, if you multiply this by itself, you would get exactly 40. But the thing is, and this is the thing that even last class I said they didn't hear me. I don't understand how an infinitely running number times another infinitely running number gets me 40. It's weird, but it's true. I mean, it's a fact. I just don't see it completely. I don't know about infinitely expanding numbers, but numbers that are infinite, but yet for him it's there, it's clear. Okay, no, it'll go on for a while, but it's still not done. What is the square root of 40 about? How would we round it? It's about
6.
Okay, I would say about 6, just to make it easier. What's 8 plus 6? So I'm going to put here my 2 answers. I want this. Yep, and then I want this. So that's what I want for your answers. And then I'm just going through it just to see. All right, 8 plus 6? 14 over 4?
7 and...
7 halves, which is about 3.5. About 3.5, a little over that. And then what's 8 minus 6? 2. 2 over 4? It's about a half. So do you guys understand that these numbers are not like way out there like, whoa, that's weird. But guys, it's 2, what type of numbers? Irrational. And did that tell me? Yes, so you knew that already. All right, let's do one more. All right, sorry. Don't divide by A. Yes, don't do that. Oh, yes, here's another one. This is a cool one. 49x squared. I want you to do this more on your own. I'll kind of lag behind. This is number 2, I think, on your try these. Okay, go ahead and try it. Use these numbers.
A number is blocks.
So you get it in standard form, and then you put your numbers where they belong. Be careful with that. Okay, so you put those numbers. Oh, 14 times 14 is?
169.
196.
You got the numbers mixed up. You're really close, Jeff.
Wait a minute.
Okay,
What's 14 squared?
196. So I expect you guys to know up to 15 squared, and then after that you can look back. You should look back there unless you memorize it.
You made us memorize.
Yeah, and I probably should have pushed you more. I'm going to push these guys, the 7th graders now, so that when they come to this, they're going to be like, square root of 225, 15. And boom, it's automatic. Square root of 196, 14 automatic.
169.
Bless you.
Hey, it's only one Russian. Thank you.
Is it 169, 13?
Sorry?
Is it 169, 13? Yep.
13, yep. 13 squared is 169.
I know something.
Okay, good. You're looking for patterns? There are patterns.
What?
What's the
Sorry.
pattern, Mr. A?
It's too complicated, and it's dealing
I
with...
was looking for patterns.
Oh.
Is it just like negative?
Hey, it equals.
What's 14 squared?
196.
What's negative times a positive times a positive? Negative. And then 4 times 49 is also
So we
196.
get one rational number.
You should get one rational number, but wait, that doesn't, no, that's impossible.
You get a fraction.
98. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, 2 times 49.
Shook it over the cord.
Okay, what is 196 minus 96? 196? So remember, when zero is an answer, what type of solutions are you going to get? One rational number. And I hope you understand, because this is what happens. What's negative 14 plus 0?
Negative 14.
What's negative 14 over 98 simplified? 14 goes into both of them.
A big number.
Negative 1 over 7.
So what's the answer for this?
This one is negative 1/7 so far, but I could get another one. I just got to check it. What's negative 14 minus 0? Negative 14 over 98, which equals... Oh, it's the same answer because you get one rational solution. And do you guys remember what rational means? It can be written as a fraction, and it is written as a fraction. And even cooler than that, I'm so sorry. Oops, I forgot. This is a perfect square trinomial.
Ah.
Yes, yes, yes,
Mr.
yes.
Mr. A.
This is like child labor. We have lots for them.
And I'm breaking them all right now. Okay, no. Don't get me on that. Listen to me right now. If you notice that, great. When I say solve, and I said like solve that, and you're like, man, I don't remember what to do. So you decide to complete the square, and you do it right, you get that. No, I hate completing the square. Quadratic formula. I know it always works. You do it, you get that answer. Awesome. Some of you will be able to look at it and say, it's a perfect square. Then factor it and get that. There are many ways to work this problem out, but today I want you to do what?
I feel like
Use the quadratic formula. Use the formula. Some will say just, I'll say solve by completing the square. Solve.
square is that. Yeah, that's quadratic.
Yeah, so completing the square is where you have to like subtract one from both sides, find what that number should be. There's going to be one. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not going to give you that for completing the square because that is kind of tough. Back there, all the way back there. It's going to be epic. I'm just going to say that.
That
Go
was
ahead.
epic. Are there going to be like what we did last night? Or we
It's all of it. Okay, so really last night's homework is just part of this homework. So it's not too bad. Okay, this is what I'm going to do for you guys. I'm going to give you your homework and start working it through with you as far as I can.
Oh.
I will pause every time I hear goofing off. And go ahead. If you start goofing off, I just sit there and pause and wait awkwardly there, which I'm getting better at. Bye-bye, Swivel.